So let's go ahead and do some brief intros because I don't think anyone knows anyone except maybe Stephanie. Do you know Gabriella? Were you in the same
Don't.
class? Okay, you weren't in the same
I
class.
don't think so. Oh.
Maybe Gabriella knows Stephanie if she watched the video. I don't know. that seems to happen with
That sounded so creepy, like, but Gabriella knows stuff.
yeah.
She's seen the videos. I was like, whoa, okay.
Like, what video?
Videos. Okay, that's too dark. So yeah, just go ahead. I don't have my fancy little slide for these intros, but just say your name and where you are coming to us from and how you know me, because that's how we're all connected, is through me. So let's see. Let me put you guys in some kind of order here. We'll do this way. And okay, so we've got Stephanie and then Gabriella, and then I'm taking away your opportunity to say your own name, but Stephanie, Gabriella, April, and Kelsey.
All right, so I go first, I think. Okay, I'm Stephanie. I am in Busan, South Korea, and I'm actually taking Spanish classes with Nathan. And yeah, he posted on the group chat and that's how I found him. So yeah.
Stephanie's Spanish is amazing.
Aw, gracias.
De nada. Okay, so welcome to Stephanie. And next we have the person who's in Colombia.
Hi. So yes, I'm currently in Colombia. Sorry, my name is Gabriella.
Yeah, I failed. I tried not to give your name away, but then I gave away where you are. So
you should just introduce me, Nathan.
There we go.
And then the last question is, how do I know? We met at a yoga marathon, a workshop.
It was a workshop. I think it's Wellfest we met at.
Wellfest.
So it was like yoga Wellfest. And like energy stuff and yeah.
Yeah, he was teaching a class and then we got paired up and we became friends.
The rest is history.
History. Yep.
Okay, so and next we have April.
Hi, I'm sitting in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Woo!
In very, very cold weather.
How cold is it?
It's below zero.
Oof.
Yeah, so it was like our high today was like in the single digits, and then it was, I don't know, 15 below, 10 below
Fahrenheit,
wind chill.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now it's significantly colder than that. Yeah. I've known Nathan for a really long time.
A really long time. And I think we met in Oz, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I was trying to think about that when you asked. Which was always weird. Like, I always thought we should have known each other for probably 20 years even before that, but
we didn't.
We did not.
Well, we knew each other without knowing each other because like parents and friends, friends and stuff like that. Yeah.
Family. Yep. We danced around each other before we met each other.
See. Yeah. Well, thanks. I'm so glad you could be here. And last we have, yes, of course. And last we have Kelsey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey. I am in Busan also. I'm like right down the street from Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And we met because we lived in the same apartment, also like right up the street from where we currently are.
Right.
Yeah, so I met Nathan. We lived in the same apartment and he kind of like coordinated everyone in the apartment to like go to dinner and like go out to like, just all of our apartment outings. So
right.
Yeah. So now here we are.
It's a good time. And now you're here to learn some German.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
How the times have changed.
Yeah.
See. And it's because of Kelsey, actually. She's part of the reason that I'm in this lovely abode. So,
Yeah.
it's thanks to her. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
We
All
went
right.
apartment
What?
searching. I was just saying we went apartment searching together, and
Right.
yeah, my boyfriend helped us with. Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, your oh, what is her name? Your friend helped us with that.
Yes, right. She did. Right.
Right.
But, you were kind of part of the whole deal. So, like,
Even though.
it worked. Well, yeah, but that's how life goes.
Yeah.
We don't know until it happens.
Right.
So, all right. Celebration for us. Woo! Everybody's here. All right. So, we have some people who don't know anything about TPRS. So, we'll do our little fancy intro and then we'll get started. So, feel free to interrupt me anytime if you have a question. That's totally okay. We're all adults here. So, let's go. So we're going to be acquiring some German using this lovely method called TPRS, which stands for Teaching Proficiency through Reading and Storytelling, proficiency in a language, obviously. So I would like to tell you a little story about this young woman who she grew up in the city, and there were lots of people and lots of traffic, and her parents were kind of, we'll say, worrywarts. And so they never let her learn how to ride a bike, despite the fact that all of her friends could ride bikes and she really wanted to ride a bike. But her parents were really worried about traffic and, all the things that go with living in a big city. So she never learned how to ride a bike. But later, when she could buy her own things and make her own decisions, she still had this desire to learn how to ride a bike. In fact, it had grown to the point of wanting to be a BMX freestyle bicyclist, but she didn't know how to ride a bike. And so she spent a lot of time on YouTube watching all of these people do these crazy tricks. And she would research the nitty gritty of every BMX bike and like how it was put together and like what made it better for riding on long trails and doing like races and what made it better for doing tricks. And like she just really studied everything and she read everything she could. And finally, one day she went and made the big purchase and she bought the biggest, well, not biggest, but she bought the most expensive bike that she could buy. And she bought one that was more suited for riding in the city and doing tricks. So it had the right angle for her handlebars and everything. And she took it home and she's like, okay, now I've got this bike. So I wonder how it works. And so she took it all apart and put it all back together again. And so she understood how like the pedals turn the gears and how the handlebars worked and the angle of the handlebars and how that put the tire right underneath when she wanted to do like a nose. I can't think of the actual name for it, but like a nose wheelie, where you go up on just the top, the front tire. Like she understood it all, but she's like, still know how to ride this thing. So she decided to put it like on a stationary device so that she could like get on it and then like practice pedaling and then practice jumping onto the back like foot pegs and like, do all the things that she would need to do in order to do tricks, right? But she never actually rode the bike outside. And she did it alone in the privacy of her own home. Nobody could see her. So finally, one day she feels like, okay, I've got this now. I know everything I need to know about riding a bike and being a BMX bicyclist. So she goes out and she thinks, oh, I better wear a helmet at least, just in case. And she is outside and, she's in the city. There's all these people everywhere. Kind of makes her nervous. She gets on the bike, is sitting on the bike seat. and puts one foot on the right pedal and then is about to take the other foot off the other pedal and starts to get a little shaky. But she's like, okay, I know that this is how it goes. And she starts pedaling and she goes like maybe 2 feet and falls over. And there's all these people watching her and she's super embarrassed. And she can't ride this bike. Like she's put so many hours into learning how to ride this bike and she can't ride the bike. And on top of that, she's embarrassed. So this is what often happens with language learning. So we do language learning where we dissect the language and we learn all the rules and we learn the structure and we learn lots of vocabulary and we listen and listen and listen to native speakers. But we can't actually speak when it comes to speaking. Instead, if she had found a trainer and then the trainer had modeled for her how to get on the bike and how to, start riding the bike, and then had supported her in doing that and actually doing and getting on the bike and then going some way and then letting her go and letting her know that she might fall over, and that's totally part of the process, she could have acquired the skills for riding a bike, just like many people do when they're a kid. And when they're learning to do how to ride a bike when they're a kid, there's a lot of praise for when they fail and a lot of encouragement for them to continue on. But when we're adult learners, or when we're not even adults, but just later kids learning something, we don't get the same kind of encouragement. And we get down on ourselves when we make a little mistake, which of course we're going to make a mistake because we don't know how to do the damn thing. So, language acquisition is where we acquire the language through context and meaning, just like we did our first language. For us, that's English and Spanish. And we used it, we practiced it, we made lots of mistakes, but it was focused on meaning. It wasn't focused on form and studying and dissecting everything. Now, language learning is really helpful after we've acquired some language. After we've acquired the language, when I say acquired, it means that we can use it, we can speak it, and when we're speaking it, we understand what we are saying and we can be understood because we've acquired the meaning of the language. We're able to convey a message. She never acquired how to ride the bike yet, but she had learned. And in fact, that inhibited her ability to acquire riding a bike later because she had done all this work to, educate herself and study it. And now it's become this barrier between her and just acquiring the skills. So we want to turn that around like we did with our first language. Acquire it first, and then we can apply language learning after to tidy some things up, to make acquiring something in the language later easier because it's similar to what we've just acquired, and knowing this little grammar point or this little thing about it can really help us as a second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth language acquirer to do it faster. So questions about that part? I see a light.
Wow, blew her mind.
It blew her mind and she saw the light.
Yes.
Yes. The light bulb went on. Perfect. It's perfect. Oh gosh, I'm so shocked by my pink face. Okay. So language acquisition. TPRS is a language acquisition method. Though we will do some learning language along the way as well. Learning language? Language learning along the way. So how do we acquire language? Through comprehensible input. Comprehensible is a long fancy word that means that in your mind, you have understood the language that's coming out my mouth. So if the language is not comprehensible, the input is not comprehensible, you cannot acquire the language. It's impossible. It just goes in one ear and out the other. It's just noise. But if we also don't have an interaction with, in this case, the teacher, fluency is never going to happen either. So you can watch all the BMX racers you want. You could spend hours, copious hours. It will definitely help you and prime you for when you have some interaction. But if you never have the actual riding of the bike, you're never going to be able to ride the dang bike. So in TPRS, we combine those two, and it's going to go a lot faster than it did for your first language. However, it is a slow process at first. Very slow. So today, when we're learning some German, when we're acquiring some German, please remember that it might seem super overwhelming, or it might not. It might seem like there's a lot of words to look at, or it might not. But just know that's part of this slow process at first. And I've intentionally made some very specific scaffolding for you to climb up. So just go with the process. Yeah. If you notice that you're starting to feel overwhelmed, to be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Gonna set that over here. I don't need to know the entire German language in this session. Okay, that's the adult critical voice inside of us saying, I should be better at this already. I'm an adult. I know how to run and I know how to walk. I should be able to ride that dang bike. No, okay? But it's going to go much faster than your first language. It took you hundreds of thousands of hours of listening in order to become fluent in your first language, because the language that your parents or your caregivers or guardians or whomever, your friends, people around you were speaking was not comprehensible. But here we have the advantage. It's going to be comprehensible. So it's going to go much faster for you. All right. Slow at first. And like I said, takes time. So and the way that we do this is through repetition and novelty. So there's going to be lots of repetition, but it's going to be slightly different each time, which creates enough novelty for your brain to stay engaged and continue acquiring and learning. Questions? There are 3 rules. Rule number 1, it's my story, guys. So that means that I get to decide what is or isn't in the story. However, this is also a game, and it's your job to guess. And it might just so happen that you do know what's in the story, and you might be right. So it's your job to guess. Just like the other day, Stephanie totally guessed what happened to her eyebrow in our Spanish class. What happened to your eyebrow?
A dragon took it. Well, dragon's fire took it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And now you don't have your other eyebrow because the dragon has it.
Yeah.
Well, the fire of the dragon. Sorry.
The fire of the dragon.
We have to get it right here, guys.
Mhm,
Fire of the dragon. So, but you don't need both eyebrows, right, Elena? Why?
No, because I have really cool hair that
Yeah.
covers one of my eyebrows.
See, exactly.
Wow.
So that goes into rule number 2. Rule number 2 is that anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. So we don't question, wait, why is he getting a dog when he wants a cat? You know, so anything's possible, anything can change. That's the rule. Rule number 3 is that only the teacher will help other students. So if another student is having a moment and they're trying to retrieve some information, there can be this really strong tendency in us to want to help the student because we know how uncomfortable it feels for other people to be watching you when you don't know something. And you can feel that pressure inside of you, and you just want to say it because you want to relieve that pressure for the other person and for yourself and for the whole class. So if you know what the person is searching for, then you can say it to yourself. You can write it down. You can mute yourself and you can say it out loud. And then you get some practice. Okay. But I'll be the one that helps the students. And that way we can all just relax and know that when there's a moment that I'll take care of it and you don't have to. Okay. Questions about the rules? All right. Okay. Please speak in German, but you're not going to be forced. I'm not going to say, you must speak in German. But I might press you if I feel like, okay, it's there. So let's just try a little bit. But anytime you can say pass if you don't want to. Or you can say it in English too. I might ask you that. What did I say in English? Or what is it in English? Because I want to check if you're processing the language. So with that, you can use English names of people and places because sometimes the German pronunciation just might go in one ear and out the other because you're just not ready to hear it yet. So an example would be the main character in the story today is George. So you can say George, or you can say the German version of George, which is Georg. And I'll be saying both. I'll switch between the two. So whichever is easier, because the names of people and places are not important at this point. What's important are the verbs, because the verbs are what are going to get you to be able to understand. Okay, so there's a little language learning tidbit for you. Verbs are more important. Okay, and so some expectations. Perfect. Of course, you're not going to be fluent in the entire German language by the end of this, but you're going to gain some fluency. So just have the right expectations here. And also, please expect that you may feel really awkward trying to pronounce some of these words, or you may not even be able to pronounce the words. So please expect that you might possibly feel uncomfortable and just push through it. Just say it weird, say it wrong, say it, well, it's not wrong, but what you think is wrong, just say it. You've got to get your mouth muscles moving or it's just never going to work. Okay, pronunciation comes later. So with that, have some grace with yourself, with everyone here, and with me. Okay, this is a place of grace and kindness and acceptance and love. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Ready.
My camera's up here, so whenever I look at you guys, it's like I'm looking over here. But hi. Okay. Let's go. Oh, wait. Some engagement strategies. So when you are not being spoken to and you're not speaking, there's some things you can do to help you stay engaged in class. Because it can be easy to be like, do, which is fine if you do. That's okay. One, so even though we're not going to concern ourselves with how we sound when we pronounce things as much as we can, you can practice your pronunciation when it's not your turn. Okay. When it's your turn to speak, just get it out. Okay. Because if you try and pronounce it correctly, you're going to really slow yourself down. Okay. So just get it out. And then when it's not your turn, you can practice pronunciation. So ways that you can do that is when I'm saying something, you can mouth along with me silently and let my voice do the talking, but your mouth and tongue and lips do the moving. And that's going to really eliminate one factor for you and help you to get those neuromuscular connections grooving in your brain. You can also mute yourself and say it out loud while I'm saying it or another student saying it or whatever. You can predict what I'm going to say or what another student's going to say in your mind, or you can say it out loud if you're muted. You can contrast what I've just said and what a student says, and then what I say after the student. In your mind, you can contrast, or you can write things down. You can write down any answers to anything that another student is trying to find. You could write it down. You can write down the details of the story because they can sometimes be a little tricky to keep track of. Just don't write out everything you want to say and then read it, because that's not going to help you. At least in class, it's not going to help you. That's something you can do outside of class, but during class, it's just not going to help you. All right. So let's get started. Woo! I'm excited. Let me turn my spotlight on. Woo! All right. So, let me get my timer out too. My fancy timer. Okay. And let me set it to not 2 minutes. We'll do this. Okay. Anytime. Yes?
I was gonna say we don't see your screen yet. I don't know if you were meant to share
thank you
it.
so
Sorry.
much for saying that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Guys, I've had stuff on this screen the whole time, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, really?
Wanting to screen.
I realized that like 30 seconds ago. I was like, oh, I think, sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, let me just let you see this for a moment. Okay, we have language acquisition, comprehensible input plus fluency, it's
Wow.
interaction. It's a good review, right?
Right.
Slow at first. Takes time. Repetition and novelty. It's my story, guys. Anything's possible, and only the teacher helps. Oh, this is good. It's a good review.
Yeah. It is.
So please speak German, but you won't be forced. You can always say pads. You can use English names of people and places. And remember your expectations and to have some grace. Engagement strategies, pronunciation. You can mouth along or mute yourself. You can predict, contrast, and write things down. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's get started. As if we haven't already started. Let's continue. Anytime I say Klasse, this means class, and you're going to respond with yes. Ja?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's practice. Klasse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sehr gut. Sehr gut. Very good. Ja.
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime I say a sentence or a statement, so not a question, you're going to say, oh, like it's the most interesting thing you've ever heard in your life, especially when it's not. Okay. Oh, all right. So let's practice that. First, we have yes.
Ja.
Okay. Klasse.
Yeah.
Oh, sehr gut. Ja. Und we have nein, which means no. Sounds just like the number 9 in English. Nein. Okay. Ja. Und nein. Oh. Ja, sehr gut. Sehr gut. Klasse.
Ja.
Es gibt einen Jungen. Oh. Ja. Es gibt einen Jungen. Oh. Klasse.
Ja.
Ja.
Gibt es einen Jungen?
Ja.
Ja.
Richtig. Richtig. Ja, es gibt einen Jungen. Oh. Klasse.
Ja.
Gibt es ein Mädchen?
Nein.
Nein.
Richtig, sehr gut. Applaus. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja,
Ja.
es gibt einen Jungen.
Jungen.
Oh.
Oh.
Es gibt kein Mädchen. Es gibt einen Jungen. Oh.
Mm.
This should be red. Ah, ja, klasse.
Ja.
Ja.
Gibt es
Oh.
Eigo? Eigo.
What's the German
Korean.
equivalent of Igo?
Don't know. I don't know. Klasse.
Ja.
Ja.
Gibt es einen Jungen oder ein Mädchen?
Jungen.
Richtig, richtig, sehr
Jungen.
gut. Es gibt einen Jungen. So, yes, we skipped right to 3. So, if I ask you a question and the answer is known because I told you the answer already, and I say Klasse, you answer with 1 or 2 words. Okay, just 1 or 2 words, just like you have been. Sehr gut. Okay. So this is going to endlessly bother me, but just imagine that this is red. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when I ask you a question and you know the answer, you answer with 1 or 2 words if I ask the whole class. But then if I say your name and ask you a question, you're going to answer in a full sentence. But don't worry, I'll help you. Okay. So here we go. Klasse,
Ja.
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen?
Ja.
Ja.
Ja, richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. Klasse,
Ja.
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 gibt es ein Mädchen?
Nein.
Nein.
Richtig. Sehr gut. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Es gibt einen Jungen. Oh, ja, sehr gut. Stephanie,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen?
Ja. Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. Sehr gut. Applaus, Klasse. Applaus. Sehr gut. Stephanie,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen oder ein Mädchen?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Es gibt einen Jungen. Applaus. Sehr gut. Gabriella,
Ja.
was,
Was?
was gibt es?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Applaus, Klasse. Applaus. Sehr gut, Gabriella. Was gibt es? Es gibt einen Jungen.
Jungen.
Gabriella,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen oder ein Mädchen?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Es gibt kein, das macht, I don't know, Madken.
sehr gut. Applaus. Sehr gut. And so brave. Richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja, richtig. Kelsey,
Ja.
was gibt es?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Sehr gut. Applaus. Applaus. Celebration. Richtig, Kelsey. Es gibt einen Jungen. Richtig. Kelsey,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen oder ein Mädchen oder einen Elefanten?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig, sehr gut. Applaus, Klasse. Applaus. Richtig. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten. Es gibt einen Jungen. Sehr gut. Kelsey,
Ja.
was gibt es nicht?
Es gibt kein Mädchen.
Richtig.
Es
Und
gibt, und es gibt keinen Elefanten.
Sehr gut. Applaus. Sehr gut. Richtig. Was gibt es nicht? Es gibt kein Mädchen und es gibt keinen Elefanten. Applaus. April, can you talk? Maybe you don't have a webcam, but can you talk? Maybe? No? You can sign on your phone and your computer both at the same time. And then, oh, wait. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to sign off the phone because I couldn't see what
See
you were
well.
doing.
Yeah, right. You can see well. Sehr gut. Applaus, Klasse. April,
Yeah.
was gibt es
Es gibt einen Jungen.
richtig? Und was gibt es nicht?
Es gibt kein Mädchen
Und
und es gibt keinen Elefanten.
richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja. Es gibt kein Mädchen. It's like maiden. Mädchen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten. Es gibt einen Jungen. Stephanie.
Ja.
When I say beschreibe die Situation, this means describe the situation and you know what to do. So I will let you show us how to be awesome. So, okay, is that everything you need? Yeah, okay. So, beschreibe die Situation, bitte.
Okay. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Maiden. Es gibt keinen Elefanten.
Richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. So describe the situation just means say whatever you can say and whatever you can remember. Okay. And you can always make your own sentences too once you get some more language and you just speak. It's not a test. I'm not testing you. I'm seeing how effective was my teaching and what do I need to do next? So you are writing my lesson plan for me. Thanks, guys. Okay, so Gabriella, it's your turn. Beschreibe die Situation, bitte.
Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Mädchen.
Mhm.
Und es gibt keinen Elefanten.
Richtig, Applaus. Sehr gut, perfekt. Es gibt einen Jungen und es gibt keinen Elefanten und es gibt kein Mädchen. Sehr gut. Es gibt kein Mädchen, weil es einen Jungen gibt. Don't worry about that. Sehr gut. Yeah, weil is because, weil. Sehr gut. Okay, Kelsey, beschreibe die Situation, bitte.
Can I have the word for or?
Oh, yes, please.
Please?
Thank you for saying that.
Oh, okay. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Mädchen,
Mhm.
Mädchen oder keinen Elefanten.
Richtig. Sehr gut. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Mädchen oder einen Elefanten. Es gibt einen Jungen. Applaus. Sehr gut. I love that you went into unknown territory. That's exactly, well, not exactly, because you don't have to do that, but that is exactly one thing that you can do.
Great.
Sehr gut. Ja, es gibt einen Jungen. April,
Ja,
beschreibe die Situation, bitte.
es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Und es gibt keinen Elefanten.
Richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. Applaus. Okay, now I'm going to give you drei und 30 seconds to beschreibe die Situation. You're all muted, so you're just going to talk to your computer. Okay? And you're going to describe the situation. And you don't know the articles for all sorts of words, but just throw in English words. Just throw in English words and say them. Okay? And you can just, you'll learn these later. It's not going to stick. So just say what you can, just add stuff in. Okay? And go for 33 seconds. Are you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Los. Okay, that's it. So not the end of class, but that's it for now. So I would like to see, and for any teachers who are watching this, I want to do this two different ways. So there's one way that you can do this, and then there's another way that you can do this. So if you can show me with your thumbs, so thumbs up means that I talked the whole time. Thumbs to the side means I talked more than 50% of the time. And thumbs down means, oh, this was really hard. And I couldn't do, I did less than 50%. And this is going to equate to A, B, C in the chat. So send me A, B, C in the chat in a moment, not now. But first, let's do thumbs. Thumbs up A, thumbs up, thumbs to the side B, and thumbs down is C for talk the whole time, 50%, more than 50, less than 50. Go ahead, show me your thumbs.
Nathan,
Yes.
Are we supposed to say that we talk that much, or
Yes,
you
you.
talk that much?
You,
Okay.
you. Yes. Good question. Yes. So during the 33 seconds, I talked all 33 seconds more than half of the time and less than half the time. Sorry if that was confusing. So show me your thumb. Okay, right. And then another way you can do that in a class is you could have them send you A, B, C, D, or ABC for those three. And then also then there's some numbers that I want you to show me or send me. So first is comprehension. Your comprehension ability. I understood. 5 means I understood everything without looking at the screen. I didn't need any of the words on the screen. 4 means with the words on the screen, I understood everything. I didn't have any questions. 3 means that even when looking at the screen, I was in and out. 2 means this was really a struggle. And 1 means this sucks. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so show me your fingers on comprehension. Okay, perfect. Wow, I'm really impressed. That's really high. Okay, and then confidence on your production, on your speaking. Okay, so we're gonna do this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The same, but only about your ability to speak. So 5 means I can say everything without looking at the slide. 4 means if I look at the slide, I can say everything. 3 means if I look at the slide, it's still a bit of a struggle. Okay. And this is your confidence. 2, this is really a challenge. And 1, this sucks. Goodbye. Okay. Show me your fingers. Perfect. Love it. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. It's okay that you're late. Don't worry.
I totally was.
Welcome.
I don't know why I was thinking 8, and then I realized no, it's 7. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so mad.
Oh, can you come tomorrow too?
Yes, I totally.
Oh, well, perfect. Then
I don't.
that'll be fine. So, hi everybody. This is Lisa. Lisa's in my Spanish class. She's my classmate in the Spanish class. Yeah. Got to clarify. There's too many Spanish classes floating around. So she's here. She knows TPRS very well. So welcome. Okay. Lisa, we just did our first describe the situation. So that's where we are. So you'll catch up. No problems. All right. Klasse.
Ja.
Everybody's muted from our.
Sorry, I had to unmute.
Ja.
Ja. Was gibt es?
Es gibt einen
Jungen.
Yes, richtig. Einen Jungen.
Full
Richtig.
sentence or
Sehr
only
gut.
1 or 2 words?
A Klasse. Yeah. So Klasse, 1 or 2 words. And then if I say your name, that's a full sentence. But your
okay.
sentence was good.
Oh,
And so the reason for that is because if I'm asking the class questions, I'm checking your processing speed, how quickly you comprehend the language. And so if I have to wait for all the students to say the sentence, then I can't ask many questions in succession and get faster and faster to increase your processing speed. So that's the reason for 1 or 2 words. But when you're in the spotlight, you've got all the time in the world to say a sentence. Richtig. Klasse.
Ja.
Gibt es eine Katze?
Nein.
Richtig. Es gibt keine Katze. Es gibt einen Jungen. Yeah. And Lisa, you weren't here earlier, but just imagine that this K is red. Okay. I don't have time to fix it. It's too complicated to fix it. See. Ja. Richtig.
Ja.
Nee. Hey. Pick your language. Okay. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keine Katze. Yeah, Katze. These are fun, right? It's like elephant, 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 elephanten, Katze. Oh, I should ask, are there any questions so far? I meant to ask that earlier.
Nein.
So questions that are in your brain, you want to ask them because they're going to inhibit your acquisition. So ask me, please.
Are we supposed to know what Katza is, or are we supposed to be able to ask what that is?
Can you see the translation over here?
Maybe her like video
Is
of
not
like everyone
showing.
is covering it.
Yeah.
Ah.
You guys are like, I
Nothing
see a
moving.
column of the German.
Can you
and then I see
change? Can you change to your so if you go up to the view in the corner, there should be a side-by-side gallery or side-by-side speaker. Do you have that option? Maybe you don't have the latest Zoom.
This is only my second time using Zoom.
Oh, no
because
worries, no worries.
we're a Google Classroom
I
district.
see.
So
I think
yeah.
Nathan, if
Yeah.
she like up at the top, if we like if everyone's camera is like this,
Okay.
like
And a panel.
yeah, then up at the top,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
she clicks on like the button like second to the left,
Okay.
then it will just like collapse everyone's camera and
Okay.
only see like your camera.
Sweet.
Okay. Okay.
Got it.
Can you see
And
the
you can,
words
like,
now?
Sure, and
Yeah.
you can move it around like below
Wherever you need it to be.
yeah, below the vocab or wherever.
Okay.
Perfect. Great.
Yay.
Do that
Yeah,
while
there's
you
also
breathe.
like a side by side mode, which I love when you're a participant, but I don't know if it's if you don't have the latest version of Zoom, maybe it's not available, or I'm not sure, because if I just go up to my view options when I'm a participant, I can change to side by side gallery or side by side speaker. And that's really the best, but it might be just an update thing and you have to go to Zoom and update later. So long as you can see the words now.
Yeah.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
So very, very good question. That's how we know. How we know. But please ask me those questions, because if you have a question on your brain, it's going to get in the way of new language coming in. So yeah, this is different than other types of learning where you can hold off on questions, where you can write them down and ask them later. Here, we need to get them addressed right away. So
I have small question.
yes, please.
It's not quite like important, but
Every
I'm
question's
wondering
important.
I'm wondering for like you said, like when we look at elephant, there's like der and like den.
Yes.
I wonder if those are like similar to Spanish, where it's like masculine and feminine.
Yes. So this is a very good question.
Singular.
German has 3. Okay. Spanish has 2. Spanish has masculine and feminine. German has masculine, feminine, and neutral or neuter. So we have masculine, feminine, and neuter. That's why, unfortunately, I know it's okay, gender roles. So we won't go down that rabbit hole. But just for clarity's sake, we have blue and pink. Okay. And then yellow. It's a very good question. This change between these two has to do with grammar. So you just, for now, you can just know that it's changing in this sentence, and we're going to get you flexible in being able to change between these. And it's a feature of German. Okay. And it's something that you'll understand later if you go down the road of acquiring more German, and it'll become clearer. But for now, yes, these are different. But these are both masculine, and this is feminine, and this is neutral. So very good question. Okay. And if that's over your head for anybody, just let it go. But we want to clarify those questions so that you're not sitting there wondering the whole time, because that will inhibit. Okay. Sehr gut. Okay. Es war eine gute Frage. That was a good question. Klasse.
Yeah.
Ja.
Es gibt keine Katze oder keinen Jungen.
Katze.
Einen Katze.
Richtig. Keine Katze. Es gibt keine Katze. Klasse.
Ja.
Ja.
Gibt es ein Schwein?
Nein.
Nein.
Richtig. Richtig. Es gibt kein Schwein. Es
Schwein.
gibt
Ja.
einen Jungen.
Junge.
Oh. Sehr
Oh.
gut. Stephanie,
Ja.
gibt es ein Schwein?
Nein, es gibt kein Schwein.
Richtig. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Es gibt kein Schwein. Was gibt es, Stephanie?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. Richtig. Kelsey,
Ja.
gibt es einen Elefanten oder eine Katze oder einen Jungen?
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig. Kelsey,
Ja.
was gibt es nicht?
Es gibt kein Elefanten. Keinen Elefanten.
Sehr gut.
Und es gibt kein Schwein.
Richtig, sehr gut. Applaus. Applaus. Ja, Kelsey. Es gibt keinen Elefanten und es gibt kein Schwein. Es gibt einen Jungen. Richtig. April,
Ja.
gibt es eine Katze?
Es gibt eine Katze. Eine Katze.
Nein, es gibt
Ne.
keine Katze.
Eine
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Jungen.
Ja. April,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen?
Ja.
Ja,
Es gibt einen Jungen.
richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. April,
Ja.
gibt es ein Schwein?
Nein. Es gibt kein Schwein.
Richtig. Applaus. Klasse. Richtig. Es gibt kein Schwein. Es gibt einen Jungen. Don't worry. There's so many details. There's so much to keep track of. It's not a big deal. Es gibt kein Schwein. Es gibt einen Jungen. April,
Ja.
was gibt es nicht?
Es gibt keine Elefanten.
Richtig.
No. Ja, keinen.
Keinen Elefanten und
Und es gibt kein Schwein.
richtig. Und
Und es gibt keine Katze.
richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja. Es gibt keinen Elefanten und Es gibt kein Schwein und keine Katze. Sehr gut. Lisa,
Ja.
gibt es einen Jungen oder ein Schwein?
Gibt es einen Jungen?
Richtig. Es gibt einen Jungen. Lisa,
Ja.
gibt es eine Katze?
Nein, es gibt einen Jungen.
Richtig.
Es gibt keine Katze.
Richtig. Applaus. Klasse. Ja, es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keine Katze. Lisa,
Ja.
gibt es eine Cola? Gut, 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 gut. Gibt es eine Cola?
Nein, gibt es keine Cola?
Richtig. Es gibt keine Cola. Applaus. Lisa,
Ja.
I'm just interrogating you.
What I get for being
Gibt es eine Pizza? Gibt es eine Pizza?
Nein, gibt es keine Pizza?
Richtig. Sehr gut. Nein. Es gibt keine Pizza und keine Cola und keine Katze. Ja, Applaus.
Ja.
Stephanie,
Ja.
beschreibe die Situation bitte.
Okay. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keine Katze und keinen Elefanten und kein Matten.
Richtig. Sehr
Ja.
gut. Ja. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten. Es gibt kein Schwein. Did you say Schwein?
Oh no,
Oh,
es gibt kein
sorry.
Schwein.
I didn't write it down. I should have written it down. Es
That's okay.
gibt keine Katze und es gibt kein Mädchen. Richtig, sehr
Mädchen.
gut. Gabriella,
Ja,
beschreibe die Situation, bitte.
es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keine Elefanten. Es gibt kein Katze und Schwein und Mädchen. Okay.
Richtig.
Und,
Oh,
und kein Cola oder kein Pizza.
sehr gut. Applaus. Sehr gut. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten und keine Katze und kein Schwein oder eine Pizza oder eine Cola. Ja, sehr gut. Kelsey, beschreibe die Situation bitte.
Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten
Mhm.
und keine Katze
Mhm.
und kein Schwein.
Richtig.
Oh.
Sehr gut. Applaus. Ja. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten. Wow, did you say?
I said und keine Katze.
Ja, okay. Und keine Katze und kein Schwein und kein Mädchen. Es gibt einen Jungen. Sehr gut. Applaus. April, beschreibe die Situation bitte.
Es gibt einen Jungen.
Ja,
Es gibt kein Mädchen.
ja,
Es gibt keine Katze
ja,
und keine Elefanten
ja,
und nein, probably doing this in the wrong order. Pizza, eine Cola.
ja, richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten und keine Katze und kein Mädchen. Und es gibt keine Pizza oder keine, no, es gibt keine Pizza oder eine Cola. Ja, sehr gut. Sehr gut. Lisa, beschreibe die Situation.
Es gibt einen Jungen. Es gibt keinen Elefanten. Es gibt keine Katze. Es gibt kein Schwein oder ein Pizza oder ein Cola.
Richtig. Ja, sehr gut. Applaus. Es gibt kein Schwein oder eine Pizza oder eine Cola. Ja, sehr gut. Okay,
If you
one
wanted to
last.
say
Yeah.
there is not a pizza, would it be es gibt keine Pizza?
Yes, es gibt
And es
keine
gibt
Pizza.
keine Cola?
Ja, es gibt keine Cola. Yes. So not a or not an. Yeah, keine,
Thank you.
kein. Another question?
No, thanks for answering that though.
April, do you have a question?
Yeah, so when I said so when I said 9,
Ah, that just means no.
right.
Yes.
So I was saying there's no pizza and no cola. But that's the
Right.
same as saying
This is, yeah, that's kind.
so that's the proper tense to use for okay, I got it.
Yeah, right. So this K is making it not or not an. Yes. Right. Where this 9 is just no. Just it's no and nothing else. Yeah. So this 9 that so you can see here we have ein, ein, so it's just different forms of ein. And so here you can see there's an N. So this means the no ein, no. And this one is ein, or an. And this one is kein, which is not or an. Yeah. Sehr gut. Eine gute Frage. Okay, one more sentence and then we'll finish. Okay, so because I want to get you some flexibility here. Klasse,
Ja.
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 George ist
George ist
ein
Okay.
Junge.
Oh.
Ja. Georg ist ein
Georg.
Junge.
Oh.
Ja. Klasse.
Ja.
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 Ist Georg ein Mädchen?
Nein.
Nein.
Richtig. Nein.
Nein.
Georg ist kein Mädchen. Georg ist ein Junge. Oh. Klasse.
Ja.
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 Ist George ein Schwein?
Nein.
Richtig. Genau. Genau means exactly. Genau. Georg ist kein Schwein. Georg ist ein Junge. Oh. Stephanie,
Ja.
ist Georg eine Katze?
Nein. George ist keine Katze.
Richtig.
George ist ein Jung.
Ja, richtig. Applaus. Klasse. Ja, I don't know how to say it's obvious in. Ja, klar. It's clear. Ja, klar.
Ja, klar.
Georg ist keine Katze. George ist ein Junge. Ja, richtig. Lisa,
Ja.
was ist George?
George ist ein Jungen.
Richtig. George. Yes, ask me.
Okay, how come in the first sentence it's einen Jungen and in the second it's ein Junge?
That is a beautiful question. So, one of the features of German is that when this is an object and not the subject, it changes. So, what you need to know, all you need to know, is that when you say es gibt, it's einen Jungen. And when you say George ist ein Junge. Okay. And you're going to learn that through practice. And that's why I wanted to get the sentence up so we can get some flexibility between these two. Okay. So these both mean a boy, just in different contexts. We had the same thing that happens in English. So not like the same exact instance, but we have things that happen like that in English. So yeah, that's a good question. Okay. Georg ist ein Junge. Es gibt einen Jungen und Georg ist ein Junge. Oh. Lisa,
Ja.
ist Georg ein Mädchen oder ein Elefant oder ein Junge?
Georg ist keine Elefant
Richtig, kein Elefant.
oder I can't remember the other one.
I couldn't remember either.
Keine Kat, I'll make it up. Keine Katze
Ja.
oder kein Menschen. George ist ein Junge.
Richtig, richtig. Georg ist kein Elefant. und keine Katze oder ein Mädchen. Georg ist ein Junge. Sehr gut. April,
Ja.
was ist George nicht?
Georg ist keine Katze
Ja,
oder ein Schwein.
ja, oder ein Schwein, ja. Ja, klar.
Ein Schwein. Oder kein Mädchen.
Ja, richtig. Sehr gut. Applaus. Ja, Georg ist keine Katze oder ein Schwein oder what was the last one you said?
Mädchen.
Oder ein Mädchen. Georg ist ein Junge. Applaus. Ja. Kelsey,
Ja.
ist Georg ein Junge?
Ja. Oh, Georg ist ein Junge.
Richtig. Georg ist ein Junge. Klasse.
Ja.
Ja.
Ich bin ein Junge. Oh. Ja. Ich bin ein Junge. Georg ist ein Junge. Oh. Ja. Ich bin ein Junge. Kelsey,
Ja.
bist du ein Junge?
Nein. Du bist ein Mädchen.
Ich
Oh. Du.
bin ein Mädchen.
Oh, sorry.
Richtig. Amazing.
Ich bin ein Mädchen.
Richtig. Ich bin kein Mädchen, aber du, Kelsey, du bist ein Mädchen. Oh, ja, richtig. Gabriella,
Ja.
bin ich ein Junge?
Nein.
Nein.
Oh, you.
Bin
I'm so sorry.
ich ein Junge?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant I, like Gabriella I, not Nathan I. Got
Right,
it.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Isn't that funny how we do that? You know, when that's our like language learning mind, is we think that, you know, I'm saying, you know, ich bin, but everything here is in meaning. So bin ich ein Junge, Gabriella?
Ne. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, your internet is a little shaky.
Ein Jungen, Nathan, ja. Oh,
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, your internet is just a little wonky.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now it's okay. So how do you tell me who I am, what I am?
Ah,
Talk to me
das.
about me.
All right. Du, Nathan, bist ein Junge.
Richtig. Applaus. Sehr gut. Ja, Gabriella. Ich bin ein Junge und du, Gabriella, du bist
Ein
kein
Oh, sorry.
kein Junge. Du bist ein Mädchen. Ja, Applaus. Ja. That's good. I love it. Lisa,
Ja,
ist Gabriella ein Mädchen oder ein Junge?
Gabriella ist ein Männchen.
Richtig. Gabriella ist ein Mädchen. Were you here when I said that this kind of sounds like maiden? I'm not sure if you came before that or after that. Yeah.
Thanks for
So this
saying
kind
that,
of
Beth.
sounds like maiden. Maiden. Mädchen. Ja. Es gibt kein Mädchen. Nein, es gibt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Es gibt 5 Mädchen. Yeah, but no, we're not going there. Yeah. Gabriella ist ein Mädchen. Lisa,
Ja,
bist du ein Mädchen?
ja, ich bin ein Männchen.
Richtig. Ja, klar. Du bist ein Mädchen. Lisa,
Ja,
ist April ein Mädchen oder eine Katze oder eine Cola?
April ist ein Männchen.
Richtig.
April ist keine Katze oder keine Cola.
Richtig. Sehr gut. April ist ein Mädchen. Sie ist keine Katze oder eine Pizza oder eine Cola. April ist ein Mädchen. Okay, so I'm just aware of the time. We'll do a describe the situation muted. Everyone will describe the situation on their own muted. We didn't spend as much time on this part of the language, so don't be surprised if it's a little bit more of a challenge. But go ahead and just beschreibe die Situation. You can say everything from the beginning to now, and you can practice your flexibility between these. Okay. So, is there any question before we go on to this? Okay. So, beschreibe die Situation. 3, 2, 1, los.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, famous words of doing Zoom classes. You're muted. Okay, so I don't even remember what I said. I said something like, okay, sehr gut. So now I would like to see your ABC and your finger numbers, but we'll do fingers for this since we're all adults. So thumbs up means I talked the whole 55 seconds. Thumbs to the side means I talked more than half, and this is less than half. So show me the money. Oh, beautiful. Okay. This would be beautiful too. And this would mean that you have growth. It's great. They're all good. Okay, 5, comprehension. I understood everything without looking at the words on the screen. Looking at the words on the screen, super easy. Understood everything. 3, it's a little bit challenging, but I'm going looking at the words. This is really a struggle. 1, this sucks. Oh, right. Perfect. Okay. And then production, a bit confidence in your speaking. Okay. Same rules. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. This is beyond what I would expect for your first time. So how many of you knew German before this?
9.
A little bit. Ein bisschen. Ein bisschen. Yeah.
Only what I sang.
Oh, yeah, right. So that helps with pronunciation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the end of the class part. If you need to go, you can go. What I would like to hear from you though is what helped you learn today. Any aha moments, any questions, anything that you'd like to say, so that we can all debrief from our experience. Okay. So yeah, we have anyone can start and then we'll go clockwise from whoever starts and I'll tell you who that is.
I have to head out, but
Oh, okay.
I'll
Stephanie, go.
quickly say it was it was fun. It was really fun. It was better than the Korean just because Korean is so hard. But yeah, everything else was great. But I do have to head out. So have a great day.
Okay, thanks so much for being here. Have a good day and a good weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Bye. Okay, who's next? So she was so that makes Gabriella next in the clockwise motion.
The visual really helped. It was easy to understand. It really is kind of just like when you're reading a map, A across, numbers like 1 down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really easy to follow. And the more practice, the easier it got. I think pronunciation wise, I think it was also really good that you said not to worry about the pronunciation, because then I would have worried too much and not worried about the structure. So once pronunciation was out the window, it was just like fair game.
Just forget it. Just forget it. You know, it's going to come with practice. So
really fun. Really enjoyed it.
Good.
So I have to go as well.
Okay.
So I'll give you more feedback later on. But so tomorrow's class, is it a continuation of this, or
tomorrow's class will start over, but it just depends on the students and how things go, because it could go, there could be more that comes up, there could be something different that comes up, but it will be the same words and everything like that. And if you come tomorrow, if you're able, then you'll be a good example, and you'll also be able to see like how much you did acquire today. That's what's always kind of surprising, is like the next day it'll be like, oh my gosh, I know what this is and I know what he's going to say and I understand this. And so day 2 is always really interesting.
Sorry, it just reminded me of like the Matrix, where like Neo goes, I know Kung Fu. And Morpheus is like, show me. So I feel like that'll be tomorrow. Like, I know German. Show me. Sorry, I'll let you guys go. Have a lovely day, everybody.
Thank you.
Hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. So Kelsey, you're next.
Yeah, like Gabrielle said, I think the visual really helped. I also think just the fact that you didn't like immediately tell us like, let's learn all of our vocab right now,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
repeat the vocab, and then like vocab. Now let's move on to sentence. Like
Right.
just that you kind of let us figure it out like as we went along, and like you
Mhm.
have that on the side for us to like learn ourselves as we
Right.
move forward. I think
Right.
that really helped. Yeah, and I also liked that you gave us examples and then let us build our own sentence,
Mm.
and then like repeated what we said back to us for like even more practice.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, very, very
good. That
helpful, very fun. I really, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
yeah, this is why I'm hooked to TPRS.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
she said you had a Korean class, so now I'm like, oh, I want to take your Korean
I'll
class.
send it to you. I'll send
Yeah,
it.
totally. Thank you.
There's not a class going on yet or right now, but I did this same thing. I did a couple demos,
Yeah.
and a cold character reading for that too. So I can send you the links to that.
Yeah, yes,
But
please.
about the vocab. So that's one of the things that with TPRS is that it's all meaning.
Mhm.
And so you acquire the meaning in context. And so pre-teaching vocabulary, you can certainly do it,
Mhm.
and there is some benefit to it and there's some merit, but
Mm.
if you just go slow enough and you just let people have enough time to process, and that's why we use translation, because it's the cleanest, clearest way to get the meaning
Mhm.
right there, rather than showing, a picture of everything,
Yeah.
because that can get a little murky, and
Mhm.
it takes up a lot of space on the screen too. Obviously, if you have really young kids, then you're going to have to use pictures and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But with people who have the language, it's clean, clear, and it doesn't muddy up the learning process,
Right.
which then you have to unlearn something. You have to
Mhm.
unlearn the confusion later, and it just takes more work. So,
Mhm.
and then, verifying the details after the student says it, and then the teacher repeats it back. That confirms that the detail was correct, that the meaning was correct. And
Mhm.
you saw me sometimes I would over dramatize when the detail was wrong. Okay.
Mm.
So we only correct the details or the facts being wrong. Cause I'm not a girl,
Right.
but when it comes to pronunciation or it comes to, grammar or whatever, the
Mhm.
teacher just verifies it back correctly,
Mhm.
so that the student can pick it up.
Mhm.
Because otherwise they're just not going to acquire the language, and they're just going to be discouraged from saying it wrong again in
Mhm.
the future. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
and I
good
think
feedback.
also like being able, at least on Zoom, like to mute your microphone and like
Right.
say it with
Yep.
you and
Yep.
with like all the other students was also like really helpful just to like keep practicing.
Right. I love teaching online for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very fun,
Thanks.
very
Good
good. Thank
feedback.
you.
I'm
Thanks
glad you
for
could be
coming to
here.
class. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll stick around a little while.
Oh, good. April.
Oh God.
Hi.
Yeah. So this is brilliant. I loved this. This was like
I love
everything the other
TPRS.
lady said. It was absolutely. But I mean, this methodology is it's fabulous.
Yeah, it
Yeah. I
is.
mean, I've studied Spanish. I've tried to study Swedish. So now I'm like, ooh, now I need to find a TPRS Swedish.
I know someone. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. My German friend is learning Swedish right now. I'm pretty sure with TPRS. I'll ask her about it and see.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are there all the language apps that are out there? Are there any of them that are, because they all claim they are the greatest?
Mm.
Nathan, you
Yeah,
need to
the
make
best method.
a
But
TPRS.
like
All
by
right.
far, this one is the easiest.
Yeah, TPRS Books is working on that. I don't know about an app, but we're working on they are working on all of that. So it's in the works, and there are benefits to the applications, and there are some applications that are just like fast food. You get something out of it, I guess, but and then there are some online schools that you can go to that have good things, and not but. And the thing with TPRS is that just a very clear structure, scaffolding process that eliminates a lot of extra stuff that just inhibits fluency. And getting the fluency, getting the ability to speak bolsters that confidence in the language learner and motivates them to continue, motivates them to move on. Because what do we all want to do when we learn a language? Speak the damn language. So we can't just take in all this input. We need to be speaking right away. And that's why within moments of us starting this class, you were already speaking. So, and you've already acquired a language once. So this language is going to come much faster because your brain already knows how to do it.
This was so great though, because like it was in front of us, and like everybody said, it's just, it's very clear. It's very clearly laid out. And I took French in college for a day because this was happening to us in the class with nothing in front of us.
Like immersion. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was speaking to us in French, and I was like, and she asked me a question. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what planet you're on right now. Like, what?
Right. Yeah, it's language acquisition can't have, and that's the thing with our first language is that we acquired it. We did, and we were really primed to acquire it because one, we had intensive motivation to acquire it, like to survive. And two, like our brain is super, super, super malleable at that age to acquire all these sounds and all this stuff. But the input was not comprehensible. It was not comprehensible at all. So it took countless, countless hours to acquire the meaning of everything, and we did it. So now, when the method is following the right pathways, it comes so much faster, so incredibly much, so much faster. But I can't really blame other methods or other teachers or whatever. We just didn't have the knowledge that we're getting right now of like how to follow this pathway and how to make it work. And so thanks to Blaine Ray, and thanks to his son Von Ray, and Craig Shihai, who are at TPRS Books, and all the other people that work at TPRS Books, and then these online classes, and all the other teachers that have been working together to develop this method for over 30 years. We're getting there. So yeah, it's good feedback. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And there are lots of words on the screen and lots of support, and eventually you just don't look at the screen, and you try to recall on your own, or I can even take the screen away later, and you can just recall things from before. But you better believe it that if you have the ability to visually imagine things in your mind, you're going to be seeing this in your head for a while. And then once the meaning has been acquired, it will fade away. It will disappear. You notice this already with the English translations. They just disappear. You don't even know, wait, they were on the screen? Like, oh, right, they are on the screen. It will fade away. So, yeah, good. Lisa? You're no stranger to this game. Yeah?
I mean, I love this method.
Yeah, I do.
I hope you teach a German class. I'd like to take it.
Thanks.
I really like how you did the different colors, and I mean, I feel like I was kind of cheating because I know the method, so it was real easy, even though I came like extremely late to your class, which is making me crazy because I don't like to be tardy.
Me either.
Oh, that's like when I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you should have heard me
Worst
screaming
feeling.
at Tyler. I'm like, get off the computer.
Oh,
So,
poor
but it
Tyler.
was amazing to me how quickly I was able to
Come up, yeah.
because the Spanish, and so I know the method. How quickly I was able to just jump in into this. But I must say, I really loved your ginormous pointer, the highlighter.
Oh, the spotlight. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I really like that.
Me too. I love it.
So
Good.
anyway, and I hope you teach more classes because I want to take them.
Thanks. Yeah, the benefit to knowing TPRS and having acquired, one language with TPRS is that all the other languages become so much easier because there is a boy, the boy is George, and George wants a Coca-Cola. He doesn't have a Coca-Cola. And so all of this builds on itself, and you acquire, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German.
The short I had of your Korean, and I can tell you exactly where it was on the screen and what it said, just from that. And I mean, I had never been exposed to Korean before.
And it's a different writing system.
Oh my gosh. When I first logged on, I was like,
I do.
Go up and I'm like, I just want to tap out and nobody's even gonna notice. And I could tell you what was at the top of the screen and what was at the bottom. But anyway, I like the way you color coded it. And I like 1,000,001 years ago, I had a snippet of German, and I'm like watching this, and I'm like, did I even know that it was like the Kainen was for den and dying, and I'm like, I don't think I even ever but seeing it like this made it really easy to pick up. But anyway, but I kind of felt like I was cheating because I knew the method already.
It's not cheating. That's exactly what you do. That's how you do it.
So,
that's not cheating. That's being resourceful.
Okay.
And using your skills.
So,
yeah.
But it was fun because I was so scared. I was like, oh gosh, should I even log on? I missed and it was crazy how quickly I was able to jump right in. And it was, it was easy. But maybe compared to the Korean, where that was not easy to me. But
I think it's more of a mindset thing too, because you can see these letters and they're Roman letters. And so, you've heard German. And so it just seems a little more accessible, where the Korean, you see it on the screen, you're like,
that was exactly what I thought.
I don't recognize anything on that. Well, not because there were some English letters, but like most of it is like, so it's just a mindset thing. And it's my job as a teacher this is why I do all these practices, because I want to whittle out my language and the things that the things that I can say to shift your mindset to taking this stuff in. And also it gives me more and more leeway to overwhelm you, to give you more flexibility and experience at the beginning because you're ready for it. You're willing to just go with it and take it in. And this is pretty complex stuff to say einen Jungen and ein Junge, and like, why is it changing and blah 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 blah. And
I thought it was interesting how like logging into this, and like even though I was almost an hour late for class, I was totally fine with it. But how different it was when I logged into the Korean class and like physically felt nauseous.
Right.
During it, and I don't know why, or if it was just like I knew the process. But I don't think I know the.
I think it's a mindset thing. Yeah.
That it was just so.
That's just my opinion. I don't know the truth, but I think it's a mindset of like, that no Korean, or knew in the past. And, there's going to be other people watching you, and there's going to be this thing, and, blah, 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 and then this, that, and the other thing. And I'm an adult, and, I'm supposed to be perfect, and, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not
What is
surprised.
I'm
So,
curious, what is your goal? Are you going to be teaching multi-languages, or do you think you'll teach German, or?
yes. I would
Yeah.
like I would like to teach other languages and train teachers in TPRS. So either have my own online school or working for TPRS books or something. But yeah, it's I just have to find support for my own German and Spanish. Well, I have for Spanish right now, but German and Korean, and because I'm not fluent, I have fluency, but I'm not fluent in those other languages, and there is a difference. So I just have to make sure that I know for sure that I'm not going to be an impaired professional and giving subpar language lessons. It's okay for me to make mistakes. It's okay for me to be not perfect. And I also can't be so inaccurate that I'm setting my students up for failure. So it's just making sure that I'm towing that line. So that's why I'm, hesitant about saying, yeah, I'm going to start teaching multiple languages and blah, blah. I mean, that's the not ultimate, but that's the future goal. And Spanish, an official Spanish course is coming in March. And then hopefully Korean and German, if I can, just get all that sorted out. Because I mean, there's stuff that I'm still learning. I like this es gibt keine Katze, before, or Georg ist keine Katze. Before I would have said Georg ist nicht eine Katze, but it's more accurate to say Georg ist keine Katze, because keine means not or not an. So it's those kinds of things that I want to make sure are neat and tidy, because I don't want my students to have to try and unlearn something later if I can avoid it. If I can't avoid it, it's no big deal. You can unlearn it. It's not going to be stuck forever. But I don't want to make this really deep neuromuscular groove in your brain for you to have to work out later if I can avoid it. So, yeah. Well, thanks so much for being here, guys, and staying late and participating. And
Thanks. And thanks for doing it earlier, because I don't know about if this is a better time for you, but that 10 o'clock was brutal.
yeah, it's neither here nor there. That's the thing with
I don't know
international
where everyone else
classes.